Hello and welcome back to the Lumin Weekly Q&A. Here we are again, on the couch, with the questions, and this time, we're sick. Yes, I've got a cold, a really bad cold. All colds that I get are really bad. It's just because, I get them and I feel way worse than other people do. At least that's what I think. So, I've got a cold, and the last couple of videos that I've done, you can probably hear that. So, I think the two Minecraft videos that are going to go up, the one that went up already that had the little Skyrim logo popping in the side, that one. And the next one after that. And Skyrim will go up. Mass Effect, which has gone up. The news episode, the videos around this one, before and after this one, I won't sound so great. So try and just look past that for a couple of days. I'm sure I'll be good to go by the weekend. By the weekend. Hopefully, because I've got a lot of stuff I need to do this weekend. And on that note, I'll just say that I've got a lot of stuff that I need to do this weekend. There we go. Done. I am not really getting to everything I wanted to get to. The sickness didn't really help. But this week, the news is coming out. I've already done the World of Warcraft news. It's actually uploading right now. Or Mass Effect's uploading. I'm watching it right now. The net limiter is on my screen over there. And just to make sure the upload doesn't fail. So Mass Effect's uploading right after that. World of Warcraft news is queued up. That should both those should be up before this is up, and then this will come up right after the World of Warcraft news. Perfect. And after this, Skyrim, an amazing episode of Skyrim. I'm having so much fun in that. The Thieves Guild questline has definitely picked up the pace. Okay, it's much more interesting now with Karliah involved, and I'm still stuck on my theory about Karliah. And I promised you guys, I've never read about this before, anything like that. I didn't watch her do it because she did do it. She's actually playing World of Warcraft right now. Oh, and I've got a question relating to her name, which is Helene, but we're gonna get to that later. Okay, we're gonna get to that later. She's playing World of Warcraft, Mr. Pandaria now, because she has to level me a new character, because she doesn't have to. Okay, I asked her nicely, and she said yes. She said no. Actually, she said yes, then she said no, then she said yes again. That's what she did. Okay? And then she just got disconnected. And she's been crashing over and over again for the past who knows how long. It's unstable right now. And she's leveling another character because I had so many problems. I recorded an entire episode. I did like 4 or 5 quests in said episode. And then after I was done, I saw that none of the footage was usable. Something funky had happened. So, because it's World of Warcraft, you can't roll back, do the quests again. No. Why would you be able to do that? You can't. There's no load game feature, so I couldn't do the quests again, and because of that, she's living a new character for me, and I'm gonna just pretend that I hadn't actually done them. But I have. The few of you that have watched this will know that I have. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible, but it's still a lot of fun. Maybe not quite as fun as Guild Wars 2. Not quite, but... And I suppose there's many factors involved there, but it's still pretty cool. I went totally off topic there, like off track. I was talking about something else. I think I was talking about the weekend and the videos. I don't even know. Doesn't matter. I'm working on a lot of stuff. News will be coming up this week, including Diablo and StarCraft. I would like to do a Guild Wars news episode and a Dota 2 news episode soon as well, but I can't guarantee that they're going to be coming out that soon just yet. I want to get them out, but it all depends on how much time I get, because there are other projects that I need to work on that are relating to many different things that I would like to get done first, because they feel more important to me. And hopefully I'll be able to use this weekend to do that. So anyway, I'm going to get to the questions now, because I've been fooling about here. Oh, and the music in the background? It actually really is in the background right now, because this is the camera right here, and it's behind the camera. And you don't often get to really say that. It's playing from the speakers in the background. Final Fantasy VII soundtrack. Beautiful. Amazing. One of the best game OSTs out there. Along with Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy VIII, probably Final Fantasy IX. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Probably. Because I say so. And Chrono Trigger. They're amazing. But we're going to get to the questions now. And I'm going to warn you guys that these are totally random. I just plonked them all in here, and because of that, they're not categorized into, okay, well, these first ones are gaming related, these are real life related, and these are that, okay? They're all just in there. Done. Hope that's okay. It gives a bit of variation. That's Nero coming in the door now, in his little hole in the door. Oh, okay, I see how it is. Going to his sulky couch, but his sulky chair, or couch, it's a small couch, but it's very comfortable right now because my gown is lying on it, and my blanket, and he just got so comfortable with it. I'm gonna show He's like, yes, Daddy, this is very nice. This is very nice. Of course he likes it. Of course he likes it. Okay, it's gonna be full of hairs, but it's already full of hairs, so it doesn't really matter. Now, can we get to the questions? We're gonna get to the questions now. This is actually a really cool one because, and this wasn't even submitted to the Q&A, I just put it in here because why not? Someone asked it to me and I thought to myself, why would I deprive the world of the answer to this question? I wouldn't. That's my answer to the question that I just posed myself. So, I adventured with you in the Guild Wars 2 beta as Lord Eddard Stark. That's a knee slapper right there. He didn't look anything like Lord Eddard Stark. Well, he did. He looked like a Lord Eddard Stark in his 20s. He really did. Okay? And kudos for that, but you can't make old Guild Wars 2 characters. There are a few. There's like 1 or 2 old female faces. There are 1 or 2 old male faces. But they don't give you that much oldness to play around with, which I don't really see as a big thing, but it sort of like impedes your chances, makes it slightly less likely that you're going to make a proper Lord Eddard Stark. Can't be recreating Boromir up in there. Although it wouldn't surprise me if Boromir's face was on a Norn, because they put Liam Neeson's face on the Norns. Anyway, so I was this is from Bumfree, and he was Lord Eddard Stark. It was funny because we had Lord Eddard Stark in our guild, then we met Arya Stark, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. Whoever did that did a great job, and I'm probably going to make another character creation video sometime and include her in there just because I saw that as inspiration. But he did a great job. I think the only thing that he did was she had a very heavy tan in that, but because she's so dirty in Game of Thrones, every single episode, the whole tan thing, it fits. Anyway, so it was fun. I was curious to know what your favorite points were in the game. I suppose pretty much just over the weekend. What you had the most fun doing, and did it live up to your expectations? I can tell you that one of my favorite moments was when we adventured into the Demongrub Pits in search of glorious treasure. That was also one of my favorites because we did this cute little jumping puzzle, and it's not cute or little, it was actually terrifying and huge. Because what happened was we did this whole puzzle, we found a couple of separate little treasure chests hidden in random places that you had to jump precariously across these rocks to get to, and then myself and Zoe, we went back there afterwards and we found even more. We found even more little hidden areas that were there, but we just didn't find them before because they were so well hidden. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, and I realized that the game is full of that. The game is full of stuff that just rewards you for exploring. I'm trying to find the little... There it is. These little things. I wanted to fiddle with them. I wanted to fiddle with them while talking. It rewards you for exploring. And that's amazing. I like that. And I feel like a lot of games are lacking that. One being World of Warcraft, Mr. Pandaria. And I think that a big reason for that is because they're not really done with it yet. There's a lot that still needs to be thrown in there. But they don't really reward you for going off the beaten path. And in Guild Wars 2 they do. And that was my favorite point of the game, or is my favorite point of the game so far. The fact that you can just say, well, there's a quest over here, or a dynamic event, or a heart. They're actually hearts in Guild Wars 2. I can leave that for now. Come back later, it'll be there. And right now I'll just go that way. I'll go that way because there's a little path going up that mountain and I want to know where it leads. You go up there, you find some stuff, and you're happy. You have a good time while doing it. It's just really good. I know that's a very simplified version of it, but it's definitely living up to my expectations and more. More, actually. I didn't expect this much from it. I thought it was going to feel like too much of a a Korean MMO, like, not Korean actually, Korean's wrong, I would say Eastern MMO, where it's very, very grindy, and I don't feel it's grindy. I think it is grindy if you play it like you play WoW, and a lot of people try play it like they play WoW. One big one that comes to mind is Jesse Cox. I don't mind saying it. I don't fully agree with his, his, let's just say, thoughts on the questing system and how it works and stuff, but some points that he raises definitely valid. Like, it's good. I like it a lot. It's fine that he doesn't like it so much. He's agreed. I agree with him on the fact that the PvP is absolutely amazing. We did some world versus world versus world, and that was just so fun. We got owned, but it was a lot of fun. Still. Okay, so he's sleeping now. Anyway, that's it. Okay, I had a lot of fun. Pretty much everything we did was a lot of fun. I liked the little group outings that we went on. We did some skydiving, or whatever you want to call it, jumping off this hugely high... I don't know why they even added that. Why would they do that? They like finishing lines arc up, and then they say to themselves, well, I think it's missing a diving board on top of an insanely tall mountain. That's exactly what Lion's Arch is missing. No, that wasn't what was missing, but they added it anyway. And it turned out amazing. So cool. I found a pirate cave in the city. What? Why would there be a pirate cave in the city? I suppose it's a coastal city and all that, but I didn't expect to find it there. It's cool. I got some screenshots from it. I'm going to probably make a video with it. And it was a lot of fun. But, next question. This one's from Swesent. I've actually got some coffee here. I don't have a straw this time, because we're out of straws. It's good. Now, 2 questions from Swesent. Good questions. First, to those who have followed... Well, the second one is good, but I don't have a very good answer for it. First, I've got a good answer for this. To those who have followed you for a while, it's pretty clear that you prefer long-ranged weapons when you have a chance. Long range as in sniper rifles. My guess is that you prefer sniping in contrast to running into the crowd, machine guns ablazing. My first question is, what makes you prefer sniper rifles? Now, I'm first going to tell you what his thoughts are on this, because why not? He says personally, he's kind of leaning towards the same preference. He likes the cleanliness and the sense of professionalism with the one shot, one kill, rather than waving guns and bullets all over the place. I totally get that, but I'll give you my answer now. And getting that perfect headshot on a moving target far away brings the biggest sense of enjoyable accomplishment in many games. And kind of more methodical gameplay that comes with it as well. So it's a lot simpler for me, I guess, and it's just because I sort of got not used to using them, but it started as like, it became a habit for me. I played a lot of Counter-Strike a long time ago, and Quake as well, but I actually started on Counter-Strike, and, well, I started on the previous Quakes before Quake 3 Arena came out, but then I moved on to Counter-Strike, and I played that for an extremely long time. And in Counter-Strike, the one thing that I did well was aim well, okay? I didn't... the strats and stuff, and working with the team and all that, I didn't do that very well. I just didn't do that very well at all. And a lot of my friends did that quite well. They worked well together. But what I did well was I clicked on their heads and they died. Okay, so when I had a sniper rifle, I got those headshots all the time. I hit them. When I just needed, and that's the thing with this, when I used the AWP in Counter-Strike, then all I needed was that one shot, and that was it. I saw them and they died. And that was amazing. That was obviously because I was a little bit younger and it was nice to own people, and you own them. You see them, you kill them. They're dead. They're done. So I just sort of got in a habit of choosing that kind of gun. And like for instance on Dust 2, where you have on the CT side, you can just strafe to the right from your spawn if you're facing the terrorists, and you can take that shot through the doors. Same thing goes for the terrorists on the other side. They can take the shot through the doors, but one doesn't miss that shot if you practice it enough. And, well, I tend to not miss it, and it was a lot of fun. Killing people with one shot is cool, and you still have your pistol with you, so I always had that combo. A big, heavy, long-range gun with a nice pistol. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. My favorite pistol, I can tell you, wasn't the Desert Eagle. I like the USP on CTs. Amazing. That's the gun that the counter-terrorists spawn with. In CSGO, it wasn't quite as cool, isn't quite as cool. I've been playing a bit of CSGO, not a lot, like very little. Mainly because our local servers have been totally empty, and that's probably because like no one's in the game, in the beta right now, but still. Anyway, that's the main reason I like it. And then because of that, whenever I got the chance, I chose the sniper rifle. Same for Mass Effect. You'll see my Mass Effect playthrough, I generally try to use the sniper rifle on my main character. And in other games, it sort of translated into the fact that I like the ranged classes more. Ranger, Archer, Marksman, whatever you want to call it. Cool. A lot of fun. That's my reason for liking sniper rifles more, because I killed stuff really quickly with it. Great. There you go. So it's sort of the same reasons for you, but I had a much simpler reason for getting to those reasons. Okay, so next question. This is one that I can't really answer. My second question is, what is your, as well as Helene's, favorite joke, if you have one? Maybe a good old classic that always makes you smile, or some newly invented one that you wish you had thought up yourself. That's the guy. I never, if someone had to ask me, well, could you tell a joke at a party? No, I probably wouldn't be able to, because I don't know any jokes. I don't remember stuff like that. I'm not that big a fan of straight up jokes, like, hey, let me tell you this joke. I like, people are funny. People are funny all the time, and I prefer it when people are genuinely funny and have interesting stories to tell, perhaps, which could be seen as a joke, but funny stories, things that happened to them. I don't know, I just prefer that kind of thing. And that said, I don't remember anything. Maybe it's just because I have a terrible memory, but, or maybe nothing has been memorable enough to really bother remembering. But on that note, Killer Stick's next question is less a question and more joke. Okay, here we go. First he asks, do you like jokes? Then he says, a zealot walks into a bar and yells, my wife for hire. The bartender says, does she charge a lot? That's good. I can't deny that that's pretty good. And I really appreciate StarCraft or any game related jokes that I actually get, because there have been a lot that I don't get. Let's just face it. I didn't play enough Zelda to get any Zelda jokes. If someone cracks a Zelda joke, I'll be the one loser over there that doesn't laugh at it, because I have no idea. Well, I'll probably laugh anyway, just because other people are laughing. Can't help it. But yeah, that's good. Well done, Killer Stick. Well done. That was good. You'd have to excuse me, I'm a little bit sick here. But it's fine. I'll answer the questions anyway, because they're good. Killer Stick again. So, what's the worst mistake you've ever made in a game? He's actually saying a StarCraft mistake he made here. My worst mistake ever happens in every single game, okay? I play terribly. Every single game I want to play really well, I end up playing really badly. So I don't have one worst mistake. Every single StarCraft game I ever play is my worst mistake ever. There you go. Because I tend to do really badly. I win every now and then, but it's generally because I go for like an early cheesy win. But it's not an early cheesy win because I actually sort of plan it out based on what I see them doing. So it's different. It's different. Don't judge me. Stop judging me. So, my one was in StarCraft 2. He was about to win. He got into his enemy's main base, and I had to scan for his cloaked banshees, but my hand was reaching for my orbital command hotkey. I accidentally pressed F10. Oh, that's bad. And I reached for my mouse to close it, but then I accidentally clicked on surrender. My life was in ruins at that moment, and I just wanted to die. I knew I was gonna win, and that's actually happened to me before, quite a few times. More with before Blizzard fixed the whole S was surrender. I think S was surrender always, and that was terrible because I played Zerg and I kept spamming S, and I did that before. I also did that before. I was busy fiddling on the menus, and then I clicked to close the menu, and then I didn't actually click it, I misclicked, and then I was still on the menu and I pressed S because I was like, let's get back into game mode, and I was spamming S and then I was out of the game. That was it. Oh no, what was that when someone pauses the game that surrender became... Anyway, I've done that before. I feel you. But, I don't know what biggest mistake in a game, I don't know. That's not also once again not the kind of thing that I really remember. And as I said before, I can pick the biggest mistakes ever from every single StarCraft game I've ever played. Now, from the old Peculiar, he asks, where did the nickname Lumin come from? I've actually had this a few times, and I don't mind answering it again. I'll just keep it short. Basically, we were working on a book series before. It's still here. We just haven't gotten around to finishing it. And the world that the book series was based in was called Lumin, and that's actually why I made the YouTube channel Tales of Lumin, because it was originally meant to be used for that, but it ended up not being used for that. So that's where it came from. The world was actually called Lumin, and it was very cool. It's not actually, the main thing is just that it's a really cool word. I like the word. I think it's amazing. Now, this is from I ply with trees? Is it like I play with trees? I don't know. Anyway, what do you talk with yourself about? I think this is in response to last week. I said that I talk to myself all the time, or have conversations with myself all the time. I don't know, various things. I don't like have conversations about the weather with myself or anything like that. It's generally when I'm playing a game, then and I'm not recording or anything like that, then I just talk to myself sometimes. Or I talk to her, sitting over there, and she doesn't listen, and then I just keep talking. So that ends up being me talking to myself. And it happens all the time. All the time. So, yes, it does. So, Fab12 UCB asks, I think he's got 3 questions in here. If you could have one superpower, what would you choose and why? I would choose something subtle, so that people don't realize you've got a superpower. I don't know what it would be, because I'm not really big on the superheroes. I don't know what the superpowers are, but I suppose that's the fun when it comes to superpowers. You can invent your own. The obvious choices would be like invisibility or flight, but flight doesn't make sense because that's not subtle at all. So invisibility is cool. That is really cool. It can save you easily, quite easily, I'd say. It can get you in places undetected. It's nice. Perfect for an adventurer. But I don't know. I actually don't know. That would probably be my go-to one. What superhero can go invisible? I don't actually even know. Is there the Invisible Man? Is that a thing? It just sounds like it should be a thing. But I know that he had some issues. And wasn't he played by Kevin Bacon? Or was it someone else? I can't remember. I remember watching this movie a long time ago and he was in it. I think it was Kevin Bacon. Anyway, that would probably be invisibility. It's just so cool. Super strength. That's, again, the kind of thing that's not subtle enough. No one needs to know you can go invisible, because when you're invisible, you're invisible. They won't see you. They might bump into you. But then you can just run away and become visible and then walk up to them and be like, hey, why do you look so flustered? What happened here? And they'll be like, well, I swear I just bumped into someone. And then they'll be like, what deodorant's that you're wearing? I think I've smelled that before. And then they'll have this deja vu moment, and then that will be the end of the scene, because you can't go anywhere good from there. You can't. So, have you ever done a skydive, or would you like to do one? I don't know about skydiving. Okay. I don't know if I trust other people with my life. Although I say that, and I've actually been on an aeroplane. That's the same thing. It's not actually the same thing. Jumping from an airplane and flying in an airplane are not quite the same thing. But, I don't know. I won't say that I wouldn't do it. It's probably pretty unlikely. First, because it probably costs a ton of money, and second, because it just seems a little bit unsafe. Putting your trust in a man-made parachute, I don't like it. Anyway, what's your greatest fear? I think this has been asked before, and I don't know, I don't really have a greatest fear. I'm not scared of spiders, or I think what I answered last time was I said I don't like snakes, but that's not really a greatest fear. I feel a little bit uncomfortable around snakes. But who does like snakes, except people who have snakes as pets, which I totally get. It's definitely not for me. So, next. Cat12543 asks, I know it's a really old game, but how would you ever play Left 4 Dead 1 or 2? I've played Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 already, and I kind of like the idea, and a lot of games are doing the same thing nowadays, but I probably wouldn't play them now, because there are so many other better games out. I don't know, games of that type, they aren't really coming to mind right now. But if I had to play something like that where you can get to kill zombies, I'd probably play something like Dead Island, because I never got to play that, and I know it was a buggy mess, but just because of the trailer, I'd grin and bear through the game. I'd do it. I'd play it straight up, especially if I could do it co-op with her, but whatever. Now, this is a very long question. It's a bit of a statement actually as well. This is from Mulder22. He says, since you're a big fan of Pokemon and PlayStation, have you ever played a game called Jade Cocoon 1 on PS1? Firstly, no, I've never played the game, so I could actually just stop there. But he says, you could say it's something between Pokemon and Final Fantasy, and it's just legendary. One of the most overlooked games for whatever reason, but it's really good and unique. The beasts you managed to catch in the game, you could actually merge two of them and make a new one. So it's like breeding, or I don't know, something like that. The victory song is playing over there. Something like that, I suppose, from Final Fantasy. Ha! Okay, there we go. You can merge two of them to make a new one, which then would have a unique look based on those two creatures. That's pretty cool. It depends on how many creatures there are actually in the game, I suppose, but still a pretty cool idea. And then it's obviously not only the look he says here, but the stats and spells, etc. And then he gives a few other things about the game that sound good. But I haven't actually even heard of that game before. Honestly, never. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check it out and get back to you or something. And now here is one that... This is a question that I will probably have a tough time answering because I don't really, I don't know, have such strong opinions on this. But this is from AU Sun to Internets. I don't know. Or it's Australia on to Internet. Oh, that's probably it. Australian on the Internet. Okay, I get it. I'm just bad at capitalization. So, what's your opinion on Electronic Arts as a company, considering the controversy surrounding them recently? Example being voted the worst company in America for 2012, and supposed bad business practices. So, first, before even going into that, I think they were only voted the worst company in 2012 by like one magazine or website or something, and I think that was like almost entirely hate driven. It's like the poll itself was probably not aimed at the hardcore gaming crowd, but they somehow latched onto it, and then you probably had like 4chan and Reddit and all those people pushing votes towards it to try and get EA to win, or I suppose you could say lose, that whole thing. And I think that on the whole sort of, my nose is running. I think they won it over the Bank of America, and honestly I think the Bank of America should have won it, because I think a lot of you probably know that the country, America, the USA itself, is in extreme debt, and the banks are much to blame for that. But there are many reasons, and I can't get into that because I know absolutely nothing about it. But EA, I do know something about. And is that the whole question? Let me just make sure, because voted the worst company in... Yes. Okay, so basically on their business practices, I don't like that they act as like this big blob that just absorbs all the smaller companies and sort of makes them work differently. The biggest and most recent example of that would be BioWare and Mass Effect 3, the ending, the day one DLC, the little things that happened with Mass Effect. And I don't like that. Sure, I think it's actually bad business. It's not a good way of doing it, and it's not a good way of rewarding your customers for being loyal, and I suppose they have been loyal because people play EA games. The Mass Effect series, FIFA, Crysis, isn't Crysis EA? The Sims is EA, and that's one of the biggest or most played franchises out there. They used to make really good games back in the day, or at least publish really good games back in the day, and I think that, because I said before, it was sort of hate driven, people just flip because of that, but their business practices sort of, they merit that sometimes. They do that to themselves with what they did with Mass Effect and what they're no doubt going to do with other games. You know, the whole crazy DRM thing, the whole everything. There's a lot of stuff that EA doesn't do right, and if I remember correctly, I remember BioWare saying that they didn't actually get to finish Mass Effect in the way they wanted to. They were being rushed, and that's that's kind of weak. Okay, if you sort of pick up a company and you ask them to make this amazing game or the conclusion to this amazing game in the form of Mass Effect 3, and then you tell them, well, you should probably just hurry this along and get it done instead of finishing it the way you wanted to, that's not cool. That's not looking out for the gamers, that is just looking out for your own wallet. And I would probably say that I don't like that, but at the same time, I think people did overreact with that whole thing. I don't think that they are the worst. They definitely, actually, I'll say they're definitely not the worst company in America. They are probably worse ones. And again, I don't know that much about it. This is just from my limited knowledge of everything that's going on. But did I answer everything now? Let's see. Opinion, considering the controversy surrounding them. Well, yeah, I still think that they put out decent games, but that's just because they've got a lot of money and they can afford the companies that make the games, and then they get to be the ones to publish them. That's the main reason that they put out a bunch of good games. So, my opinion, I think that they need to change soon, else they're going to alienate themselves to a point where people are actually going to stop buying their games. The mainstream gamers that don't know that much about all this stuff will start hearing about this and will stop buying their games, or they'll just get so ridiculously expensive, and with all the DLCs and extras and stuff you can buy, people just won't want to do it because free-to-play games are as big as they are right now and all that stuff. It just wouldn't make sense. So they're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to change soon and start, I don't know, listening to their consumers, else things will start going badly for them. Again, I don't know much about this kind of thing. Next, from the same person. Are you a fan of comic books or comic book movies that have become popular of late? Are you a Marvel or DC fan? So, let me answer the first part of that. Comic books, not comic books. I never read comics. I've never really read comics a lot. I've never really gotten into that. Not that I have anything against them. I think it's great. I just read normal books. I don't read comics. I do like comic book adaptations. I like, if there was a Spider-Man cartoon or something or whatever on TV, I'd probably watch that. Same for Batman. I probably did watch Batman or Superman or anything that sort of based on that. So I like the adaptations, and when it comes to adaptations as of late, stuff that's been coming out, movies and stuff, I cannot wait to see the Avengers. It's actually probably showing right now, and I can't wait to see Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight Rises. Not Dark Knight Rises. The new Batman movie. Okay? The new Batman movie just looks too good. And I think that's actually a case of Marvel versus DC right there. Isn't the Batman, Superman, those guys are DC, and the Avengers are all Marvel. So it would be really tough for me to pick one. But I would say that I like them both equally for different reasons. I'd say that the Marvel characters, in general, tend to have more personality, and they tend to have slightly more comedic value. They're also, they're just fun. But then you go to the DC side, and I think that they have the epic storylines. They have the big things happening. Okay? And that might just be because of the people that picked up the movies and made the movies for those respective companies, but I feel that that's how I look at it, and I like them equally for those reasons. So I wouldn't be able to choose one over the other, definitely not. I kind of thought Batman was lame most of my life just because, what are his powers? He's a guy that dresses up in a bat suit with a bunch of gadgets, okay? And Superman's kind of lame too. You can go with the age-old one of, he's flying around in his underwear. There's nothing cool about that. Why does he wear it over his clothing? That doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. But I don't have a problem with him nowadays. I didn't really like the most recent Superman movies. I didn't watch Smallville, so I can't really comment on that. But the Batman movies have been so, so good. I kind of enjoyed the Spider-Man movies, regardless of what people say. Tobey Maguire, is that his name? Tobey Maguire? Yes. Anyway, he was good. He was a good Spider-Man. I don't care. I think they're rebooting it now again with some other little guy who I probably won't enjoy as much, but hey, it's there. So, that's it. Then, This one's from the Sparrow's Journey, and apparently I missed this last time, and I think I only missed it because he had this huge fat comment, and I skimmed over it and I didn't see the last little part. But what did you what were you thinking about on your first public appearance or vlog, and how did it feel to you doing it, exposure-wise? It was nerve-wracking. I was quite nervous doing it. I think you can actually still go back and watch it. I don't really care. I don't hide them or delete them or anything like that. And you generally just tend to get more comfortable doing it over time. And back then, when I started, I was definitely not comfortable doing it, but I still said what I wanted to say. I went into it with purpose, and I got it done. That's it. Once you've published that video, it's out there and it's over. So I guess I had pretty supportive subscribers back then, very few of them, and it was okay. They accepted it, and they, from the start already, all of you, I'm saying they, but it's actually, you guys are still here, accepted me for who I was, and that was that, along with all my flaws. That's it. So, yes, it was nerve-wracking. That's actually, it was very, very, I was nervous and it was difficult to do. I said a lot, and I sounded very monotonous. That's the word, monotonous. Is that the word? I was very monotone. Anyway, done. Then this one, I think, and I'm not sure if it's the same person asking this over and over again, but ZubiYT, is that Zubi YouTube? I don't know. Asks, will Riot Panda or Zoe ever do, they're the same person, Riot Panda / Zoe, ever do commentary? Love to hear her do commentary as well. I like answer it the same way every time. Who knows? Possibly in the future. Who knows? We can't say just yet. But it would be cool, wouldn't it? It really would. Then, now I'm trying to find the person who wrote this. There you go. No Lucky Strike 09. Where do you spend your holidays? Since you already, from what I've seen in your vlogs, are living in a beautiful place with the sea and the cliffs and the Skyrim turtles and all that stuff. We actually spend most of our holidays here. Nowadays, for the last year or two, we've been spending most of our holidays here. But we go to my parents on their farm, and that's it. Because we've got Nero here, he's over there now, we can't really go away anywhere except to dog-friendly places. And because I'm uploading videos the whole time, because I'm having to do this stuff the whole time, I have to actually be here. So we tend to do things closer to home, so we go visit my parents on their farm, and that's always fun, and stuff like that. I'm sure that both of us, or not, more the one of us than the other, wants to do that kind of thing more, but we haven't really had the chance to do so as of late. Maybe if I get a laptop one day that can actually do stuff, then I'll be able to do that, but who knows. Anyway, if there was one single player game you could pick that Blizzard or BioWare or any other good MMO maker could turn into an awesome MMO, which game would it be? And how would you see it... I'm not reading very well. And how do you see it playing out? Classes, worlds, etc. So, I would like to see... I have no clue. I don't know. I didn't think about this before I actually started recording. But there are a lot of single player games that I feel would make nice MMOs. And one comes to mind immediately. This is cold now. One comes to mind immediately, and that's Fallout. And I'm not saying Fallout just because of Fallout. Excuse me, I'm sniffing here. It's very rude. But not just because, you know, Fallout, but I mean that kind of game. There haven't been enough MMOs like that. I know there's actually a game called Fallen Earth out right now, but that's not the same thing. It's not Fallout. It doesn't feel like playing Fallout. Have you guys played New Vegas? Have you played Fallout 3? Those were epic. Bugs and all, amazing. Now that was not BioWare or Blizzard, that was Bethesda I think, but it was amazing. Fallout is an amazing game, and that is my favorite setting after, well, that post-apocalyptic and sci-fi are close for me. It's a close race. If they were having a race, then I'd be really, it'd be tough for me to choose between those two. But sci-fi to me is really cool when it's in the near future. I think I've explained this before. And post-apocalyptic is always cool. Straight up, I like the gritty feel about it. The the real survival-ish nature where you have to like scrounge for spare parts and stuff, and that feel that Fallout had was really cool, and I like that, where your epic weapons and stuff are these like brilliant homemade inventions instead of being a brand new shiny rifle or something. I like that. I really did like that, and I feel that Fallout would probably be my one choice if I had to choose one. That said, how it would play out, I think something like that would be well suited to, I don't want to say a classless system, but a more free system. I don't know how to develop an MMO, so I can't say what would work well. I would say they need to be free with the way that skills work. Not the same as what Fallout is right now, because that wouldn't really work as well in MMO, but something like that. Something like that. If that put classes in, I'm sure they'd think of something. But then, as for the world, I don't know. I like the familiarity that you'll have when you're playing on Earth, and you have this ruined Earth to have a look at. If they could recreate all the entire Earth in an MMO, imagine. It would probably be impossible, because the chances are you would make the US and you'd say the United States in great detail, and that would be big enough to be a game world. But imagine if you could make the entire world. Now it would be quite an undertaking. It would be you'd have to find a company that's very opportunistic. It would be like incredibly tough to try and recreate a planet that's already here, that you know how it looks and you know every square mile of it, or most of the square miles on it. But it would be fun, wouldn't it? That's the kind of thing I would like. I'd like something where you've got the entire planet and you've got everything. You have characters. Your characters can lay their skills out, level, progress in many ways, and it should be fully free. You should be able to go where you want at the start. They need to work on that in MMOs. They need to revolutionize. Someone needs to come out and revolutionize it. Okay, Guild Wars has done an amazing job, Guild Wars 2, at changing it, at mixing it up with the whole questing leveling system, but someone needs to come along and totally change it and totally mix things up and say, well, oh, we don't need levels, or oh, we I don't know how one would do it, but just totally mix it up. And I would say that if I had to make it Fallout MMO, if I had to get someone to make it, I'd say the entire planet Earth, and then you should be able to get your own boat. You should be able to go adventuring at sea. You should be able to buy a plane and fly around the planet. You should be able to do anything. And I don't just mean a plane, I mean like, because it'll be a post-apocalyptic thing, it could be like a hot air balloon, it could be a zeppelin, it could be an old warplane or something. The boat could just be a little rowing boat, and you could go rowing out to ocean and probably die out there, but that's fine because it's your choice and you want to do that. And that's the kind of epicness that I want in an MMO, while at the same time it still has that real feel about it, and it has that survival-ish nature to it. It's tough to explain, and it's a huge undertaking, or it boggles the mind. Trying to recreate the entire planet, difficult. The whole thing is that you recreate the entire planet, but you recreate in a ruined version, so you don't need to be too true to what it is. Sure, you'd need the big landmarks. Sure, you'd need... And actually thinking about it now, there's the Secret World. Oh, which is quite coincidentally being published by EA. Funcom and EA, I think. Anyway, that allows you to go to specific locations on Earth, but it's not quite as free as I said. But yeah, okay, that's it. I'm babbling now, but it's good babble. It's good babble. I'd like to talk about that more sometime. Anyway, I hope that answers your question extensively, too extensively. Question from PB Unit. Dear Lumin, when are you going to be on the TGS podcast? Good question. I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of thing, because the people that go on there are generally... They're like this. They're friends. They know each other, and I wouldn't just fit in. So maybe if I do get to speak to Total Biscuit or Jesse Cox or whatever, maybe I'll do some stuff maybe do a video or whatever with them. Maybe I'll just wait a bit. Do it sometime. We'll see. Anyway. Next. What was the last concert you went to? And if you could choose to see any performer live, who would it be? I somehow managed to lose who asked this. Sorry. Whoever this was, I apologize. There are 3 questions together here, all from the same person. Your name is lost to me. I don't know who it is. I am trying to think, but I can't. I can't remember because I have a ton of questions and names here, but I apologize. If it's you, just say, it was me in the comments below, and then I'll just, give you a big thumbs up in the next episode. But, good questions anyway. So the last concert we saw in Cape Town, I think it was, Coca-Cola Mega something or other. I don't even know. We saw Evanescence, 3 Doors Down, Hoobastank, amazing, and who else was there? I can't remember. I just remember being blown away by how good Hoobastank and 3 Doors Down were on stage. They were so good. Their stage presence was there. They kept the crowd enthralled in their music. I know I'm forgetting one of the other headliners there. Stained. They were terrible. Like, I don't like Stained. I'm not a big fan of Stained. Stained was there too. The guy sat on a chair and he sang. It was very depressing. Okay, it was very depressing. But that's what they go for. I don't like Stained. I'm not a big fan, so if I was a fan, I probably would have enjoyed it more. I mean, he sang with feeling. That was cool. But I much preferred Hoobastank and 3 Doors Down because they were super lively. They got the crowd going. Anyway, that was the last concert we went to, the 2 of us. And if I had to see anyone live, I'd like to see Linkin Park one day. Just because I've never seen them live. And that's it. That is it. I'd like to see Hoobastank again, actually, because they were so good. And is that the end of your question? Yes. What's your favorite takeout or fast food place? We've been getting sushi takeouts recently. We call them takeaways, but that's the same thing. Sushi. Okay, and it's been really cheap because I've spoken about this in a vlog before. Super cheap sushi, 60 Rand for a platter. It's amazing. If I had my the person who lives up in the, I was going to say flatmate, but I don't live with him. That would just be creepy. If he was here, I'd bring him down here right now to vouch for it. He'd just come down here, put his face in the camera and give a big thumbs up and say, yes, I support the sushi that he's talking about because it's amazing and he eats it all the time. He has it all the time. It's just very good. Very good sushi, very cheap, and we get it from, actually funny enough, from a place called Fruit and Veg City, which is a supermarket type thing. And they've got a coffee shop and a little coffee shop type thing where they also have takeaway stuff. And they have a sushi chef working there every day. And he keeps just churning out this absolutely amazing sushi. So that's my favorite right now. Otherwise, not really a big fan of takeaways anymore. I don't like KFC or McDonald's or Steers or pizza places. I don't like them that much anyway. Anymore. I meant to say anymore, not anyway. But I mean both. So, if Hollywood made a movie about your life, who would play your character? Amazing question. I like this one a lot. And it's very sad because you gave the best questions and I don't even have your name here. I kind of feel guilty right now. What I might even do is I can just browse to the video right here while I wait and while I'm answering the question and find your nickname. So what I'm doing right now is I'm enabling the Wi-Fi. I'm telling you that. Choosing work group there. That's our one router. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it while I answer the question. So, who would play your character? Now, excuse the fact that I'm looking at my phone. I'm just trying to get to the browser here so I can get to YouTube, and I'm putting the sound off. And that's a pretty simple one. And now it's less who I want to play my character and more who I would say would be chosen to play my character. Why can't I find YouTube? There it is. Okay. So, more who I think would probably be chosen to play my character in the sense that there are people that look like me out there, or at least look a little bit like me. So those people, I can tell you right now, I've had people telling me, hey, you look like Adrian Brody. A little bit. He's got a longer face and his nose is bigger, believe it or not, and it's slightly skinnier, I think. But there's a bit of a resemblance there. Then there's another guy called Josh Groban who sings opera or something, and I don't really like his singing that much, but he does look kind of like me. I don't think he's much of an actor either, so it'll probably be Adrian Brody, and I think he's like an Oscar-winning actor, so I think my story would be in good hands. Although, the story of my life would not be some soppy drama, because It just wouldn't be. That's not how my life has been. And the sad thing is that that's the kind of movies that this guy plays in. They're either totally messed up movies or they're soppy dramas. And I'd feel kind of bad for putting him in my movie and him asking him to be totally out of character, well, out of the kind of characters that he usually plays, because he probably wouldn't do it that well anyway. But I don't know, so he probably, well, he might not be the best choice. Now, I found the video, but I don't know how to see comments on the video. How do you see comments on the video? You know, this YouTube app is actually really terrible. Oh, there they are, I found them. Okay, so, the person that asked that was, show more comments. That wasn't the person's name, that's what I was doing right then and there. But he should be here somewhere. Let's see. Show more comments again, because there are lots of comments in this video. Chill. I've nearly found it. Just hold you on. Oh, another question I can answer right now. Firestorm asked, did you ever manage to download the, I'm just finding it right here, the 1984 version of Dune? No. I didn't yet. I didn't manage to find it or download it, or I'm actually thinking to myself, and I think we might have it somewhere, so what I might do is I might just go check at my parents' house, and if they don't have it, then we can go get it at the video store, because it might be there. Or the chances are actually, you know, what I want to do one day is just go onto one of our local websites or our local online stores and buy a bunch of really old movies that you wouldn't really want to waste time downloading or get in somewhere or whatever, and they cost like, for us here, 30 bucks, 30 rand, which is like $3 or $4, and then I'll just get a bunch of them, order them, and get a whole like stack of really good movies and just watch them one day. So, the person that I'm looking for has not yet revealed himself. But I see comments about Nero's awesome scratching micro, and he did have awesome scratching micro. Let's see. Did I just get to the end of the comments and not find it? I'm so bad at reading. I'm very bad at reading. I actually am. But I'm gonna find it. Someone giving me tips about vertical sync, thank you very much. I did check that out. Well, I didn't check it out, but I kind of need vertical sync, sadly, because if you don't have vertical sync on, then regardless, Fraps makes your videos tear. You get lots of tearing with Fraps, and that's bad. No one likes tearing in videos. I don't like tearing in videos, it makes it look really terrible. That's not the person. I wonder. I'm not finding it. I don't see it here. Jeez Louise. The elusive good question asker. I apologize. I've made such a big deal about this now. Maybe he sent them via inbox message. I better check. I better check right now. Hold on. Just hold on. It's all part of the show. Okay? No, get out of here! I don't want to search for something. These buttons are way too small for my stubby fingers. Inbox. I'm gonna find it. I'm looking at my YouTube inbox right now, and this is terrible. Why would they do that? So they actually had the bright idea of throwing the comments together with the private messages. Oh, that's just clever, YouTube. That is awesome. I really appreciate it. Why would you do that? There are so many comments that I'm never going to see the private messages here. Couldn't you at least just give me the choice? You know? Added you as a contact? Why would I want to see that in my inbox? I don't know. This is going completely off topic right now. Here. So I'm going to give it like one more scroll, and if I don't find it... Jeez Louise. It's too late then. It's actually too late then. Then I don't even know. Then I think that your name, you'll just be infamous, okay? Because everyone's gonna go looking for your name. They might not find it. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, that's not even it. Okay, I'm done. That was a waste of time. So, next question. Oh right, the movie thing. Yeah, so I actually answered that. There you go. Done. Done and done. Then the next one was from Firestorm. And this is from WowNo666, or just WowNo. I think he said I can remove the 666. What's your opinion on future games and how they can evolve from now? Can they make better graphics from this point? graphics from this point when they now already look absolutely glorious. I think obviously they can improve the graphics, and they already are all the time. And I'm going to refer you guys, just send you back to when I was talking about the MMO. I think we need more freedom in our games, but not in all our games, because on-rail games, games that are on rails, that tell an amazing story, we need them too. So I think that game companies just need to start listening to their consumers a little bit more, like I said about EA. Look at me just going back to all the different points that I made. And that's I think happening a lot more nowadays, especially with the Kickstarter projects and all that stuff. And that's it. I think they should obviously always focus on gameplay first, and a company like Blizzard's obviously the best testament to that. They always focus on gameplay first. While their games may not look amazing anymore, or all of them don't, they look pretty good. Okay, I'm not going to deny that Diablo looks really, really good, even though it's running on DirectX 9, and sure, there are better looking games out there, but the gameplay is absolutely amazing. It looks great in motion, and that said, yeah, graphics aren't that important. They need to always focus on gameplay first, and just go from there. If you don't have a solid base for a game, a solid idea to base your game on, then you shouldn't be making a game. You shouldn't make a game just to have it look good. And honestly, I could spend a lot of time talking about how little I dislike the thousands and thousands of different Call of Duty games that are going to be coming out over the next couple of years, and that have come out over the last couple of years. I know there aren't thousands really, but I feel that there's very little innovation there, and that's terrible. Innovation is key. That's it. Your Lumin tip for the week. So, WowNo sent a lot of questions. I can tell you that right now. In games, you're crafty, but are you crafty in real life? And which one of you two is craftier? You or Right Panda? I'd probably just say that I'm craftier anyway in real life. I don't know why or how or what I do, but the chances are good. She's shaking her head, so she thinks she's more crafty. But that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, we're not supposed to agree on this. But I think I'm more crafty. Okay, so. I don't know if I'm crafty in real life. I don't know. Say, why on your channel isn't anything new? Oh, sorry. He's asking why isn't there any new Path of Exile recently? Does that mean you're done with it? I'm definitely not done with Path of Exile, but I decided to take a break because the stuff that they were adding wasn't that huge. I think after they added trading to the game, things just, there wasn't that much improving. It was more just polishing, and they're obviously not going to release all the content so that they don't spoil it when the game releases. But still, I'm probably going to go back to it soon enough, and the main reason I dropped it was because I had a ton of other stuff that I was working on, and the same thing can be said for stuff like Dota and Team Fortress. I haven't dropped those. I'm definitely going to try to do Dota again sometime, Team Fortress, maybe another FPS that's fun, but I just haven't had the time recently. And games like that do take quite a bit of time. So, next. To render, to record, to upload, all that stuff. Lumin, how do you feel when Neuropuppy was stealing all your attention or your thunder in the previous episode? He was, and I feel really good about it because he's even more entertaining than anything I could ever put out there. He's amazing. I could just spend all day long watching him, and I do sometimes. I don't get much work done when I do that, but no, I don't spend all day watching him. But I do, actually. I mean, I sit at my chair and I constantly look. If he's not here, then I go out and I look for him. I go and look what Neuropuppy is doing, because I care about that, and it's always good to know. So I don't feel bad about that. Again, from WowNo. Oh, this is about Helene's name. So Helene's name is Helene, and there we go, Helene, H. There's an H at the start, and then Helene. So this H is a little bit silent. It's not like Helen, where you really stress in the H. It's Helene, where it's like flowing. So it's Helen with the E at the end. There you go, that's the best way of explaining it. And because of this E at the end, it just tends to flow. And now the last two questions here. I still feel kind of bad for not finding that guy's name. Or girl. Could have been a girl. Feel kind of bad. I'll admit that. So, Lumin, have you been to another country? What do you think about South Africa's neighbors, especially Namibia and Botswana? I think Namibia is a kind of boring country. I don't have much of an opinion on it. My father's actually from, well, sort of from Namibia, and you know, I don't. It's a nice place, I'm sure. Lots of open space and stuff. Botswana, there's nothing really good happening there. Am I thinking of the right country? Yes, I'm thinking of the right country. There's been some bad stuff happening in most of the neighbors to South Africa, but you know, if I had to tie that to your previous question, have you ever been to another country? I haven't been to those two. I stopped off in Namibia once on the way over to the UK, and yes, I've been to other countries. I've been to the UK, to Ireland, to France, and to the US, to LA. It was cool. It was amazing. And we don't really get to travel very much because we've got things here like Nero, and I've got videos to upload, and you know, we don't get to travel very much, and it costs a lot too. So I would like to go to travel, sure, but not right now. It's not going to happen. And what I think about South Africa's neighbors, I pretty much told you. I think the countries themselves are cool, but if I had to choose to travel somewhere, I probably wouldn't travel to one of those two countries because they are so close. And sure, it would cost less, but it's not really something that I can't see here already in this country. I feel that most of the neighboring countries have pretty much exactly what South Africa has, just less of it. I know, it's sad, but true. Then, is there any country or continent you'd like to visit? Sorry, I answered that already. This is from Porsche 911 SBS. I must say that I do like the Porsche 911. It is an amazing car. One of my favorite cars, actually. It just looks really nice. So, she's actually waiting to ask if she can do that quest right now. And she can. She can do that quest. She's getting on the hot air balloon right now. And you guys know I've done that. So, the last question. It was almost exactly 1 year ago when you made it to 1,000 subscribers. How does it feel to have increased that number by 9 times since then? How many subscribers do you wish to have in another year from now? Well, I wish all the subscribers in the world. Okay, I wish everyone would subscribe to me, of course. But having 9 times the amount I have now in another year would be a dream come true. Having 100,000 or even 90,000 would be amazing. I'd probably be happy with much less, but it would be great because that's obviously nice. I like getting my videos out there to more people. If it makes more people happy, then that's amazing. And the funny thing is I don't really know how to do that. You get lucky sometimes, and I suppose the best way to do it is just to be consistent. I can't say that I know how to get to 100,000 subscribers because I've never done it. But I think the best way to do things like this is just to be consistent and keep putting videos out that you think people want to see. So I suppose that's not what you asked, but it feels great. I mean, I'm really happy that you guys have actually stuck around for that long, and it's really nice. It's a good feeling. And I do hope that more people do subscribe, and I hope that I can still put out the same quality content, and I hope my content gets better. I hope I get better at what I do, at what I've been doing, and I hope I can make all the videos better. So that's it. That's like my mission statement going forward. It's amazing. I like it. But sadly, that's it. And I think the timing is perfect. I just reached the end over there of the Final Fantasy playlist. That's only one disc though. There are like 3 of them. So don't worry. I've got lots more for future episodes. But again, that's going to be it for this episode. That's my home screen right there. That's not my home screen. That's my home screen right there. Do you guys want to see the weather? Because it's terrible. I'm not going to show you. You don't want to see this. 17 degrees right now apparently. That's a lie. It's much colder than that. And it's going to be raining. On the hour. 60% chance of rain. It's probably starting right now. Great. So, again, that's it. You can feel free to leave questions for next week. As I said, about anything you'd like. The easiest thing to do is to take what I said in this episode and think, you know, is there anything you want to know about? Because I spoke about a lot of stuff. Think about what I said, or don't think about it. Just the best thing to do is actually just make notes. As you're listening, you can make notes. Or just a lot of people actually leave comments while they're watching, and I kind of like that. I think that works. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Check back soon for more. Leave those comments or questions below in the form of comments or private messages, or mail them to me. And I think that the mail and private message, I generally tend to lose your names more often when you do that, but it's also more reliable. So it's something you can think about there. Is it worth it? Do you want your name lost? I don't know. Anyway, check back soon for more. Most importantly though, happy asking those questions and having them answered.